Hey guys, this is test 47 game 3. This is the record stores game. It is a matching or assignment game. We know this because we have the 5 stores, S, T, V, X, and Z, and we have the 4 types of music, F, J, O, and R. Now I've laid out a lot of stuff here, but I'm going to explain all of that. The reason that I made the stores the base, S, T, V, X, and Z, is because I found it more simple to place the types of music on top of the stores. If you look at the rules here, the rules tell us more about the stores than they do about the types of music. As you see, for example, the third and fourth rules talk only about the stores and sort of the last rule, only about the stores rather than only about the music. So there are more rules talking about stores than music, so I wanted to represent the stores as the base. Now they tell us that we have exactly 2 stores with jazz, so I wrote down 2J. They tell us that T gets O and R and nothing else, so I boxed it off, getting only those 2. S gets more than T, so I would make 2 additional slots to give it 3 spaces altogether, and then maybe a 4th. But then you see that X gets more than anything else. Therefore, X gets all 4 types of music, and S must get only 3 types. So I boxed off S, I boxed off X. Then they tell us that S gets J, so I put J down there. And they tell us that V doesn't get anything that Z gets, so V and Z share nothing. Now we can make the additional inference here that neither V nor Z can get J because there are only 2 J's in the game, and S and X got both of those J's. So the J's will have to get some other type of music, and we know furthermore that neither V nor Z can get more than 2 because they conflict with each other, so if one of them got 3, the other one would have nothing to get, given that neither can do J. So F, O, and R are the only types of music available to those guys. So this right here is our initial setup for the game. We'll be filling it in more over the course of the questions for specific if questions providing additional information. Now question number 12 is a general could-be-true question. So we'll just run through the choices. Could S carry F and R but neither J nor O? That's impossible due to the fact that S has to carry J. So A is eliminated. Next, looking at B, that's eliminated because T, we know, is carrying both O and R, and it's not carrying J at all. Next, looking at C, V gets F, R, O, but not jazz. That's impossible because V can only get 2 things. If V got F, R, and O, there would be nothing for Z to get, and each store has to carry at least one kind of music due to the initial paragraph, so C is gone. Next, looking at D, X doesn't have opera. That's impossible because X has to have all 4 genres, leaving E by elimination. And yes, Z could get F and O, and in that case, V would get R. Next, number 13, general could-be-true question. Could S, V, and Z all get F? No, because V and Z conflict. They can't have anything in common at all. Could S, X, and Z all get J? No, because there are only 2 jazzes, never 3. Next, looking at C, only S and V get jazz. No, V does not get jazz. X is getting jazz, so C is gone. Next, looking at D, only T and X get rock. Could those be the only 2? Yeah, there's no reason to believe that anyone else has to get rock as well. So D is our answer to 13. I will look at E though. Only S, T, and V getting opera is impossible due to the fact that X gets all 4 genres. So E is gone as well. Next, number 14, if exactly 1 store gets folk. So if only 1 store got folk, of course, that would mean that X had to be that store. And then V and Z would each get 1 of R or O. Since there is nothing else available to them anymore, this question then tells us that neither is getting F, and we know that they conflict, so 1 gets R, 1 gets O, and vice versa. We can also infer that since X is the one getting folk, we know that J will not get folk, so J will have to get everything else. It will get O, and it will get R. So what could be true? If you look through the choices, all the wrong answers, A, C, D, and E, all mention either V or Z. And we know that V and Z cannot have 2 of anything in common due to the fact that each of them has only 1 thing. One gets opera, the other gets rock only and nothing else. So any choice mentioning V or Z could be eliminated, because each of those says 2 types of music in common. You can't have 2 types of music in common with someone else if you have only 1 type altogether. So for that reason, A, C, D are all eliminated, leaving B by process of elimination. And if you look here, of course, T and S do have 2 types in common. T gets R and O, S also has R and O. So for that reason, B is our answer to 14. Next, number 15, general must be true question. So just run through the choices. T and V have the same number of music types. No, T has 2, V could have only 1, so A is gone. V and Z have the same type. They could both have only 1, or it could be one of them has 1, the other has 2, because they're sharing R, F, and O between them. So B is gone. Next, looking at C, S has 1 more than Z. Yes, S has 3, and Z could have 2. So C is our answer to number 15. I will look at D and E, though. Z has at least 1 more type of music than T. No, Z never has more than T. Z could have 2 and T could have 2, or Z could have less than T, so D is gone. And then looking at E, X has 2 more than S. No, X has 1 more than S. X has 4, S has 3. X could never have 5, because there aren't 5 altogether, and S could never have only 2 because S has more than T. So E is gone as well, leaving C is our answer for number 15. Next, number 16, if V was one of 3 stores that carried rock. So V is going to get rock, T has rock already, F has rock already, X has rock already, so neither S nor Z is going to have rock at all, so Z is going to have at least one of O or F, and maybe more, and then S is going to have both of F and O. So from here, what must be true? Must S and Z share nothing? No, in fact, they will have to share at least something. They will have to share at least one of F or O, so for that reason, A is gone. Looking at B, S and V have at least one type in common. Doesn't have to be the case. In fact, V could have nothing else in addition to R, in which case V and S would share nothing at all, so B is gone. Looking at C, S and Z have at least one type in common. Yes, because Z has one of OF, and S has both of them, so they will share at least one of O and F in common. So C is our answer to 16. Next, looking at D, T and Z have one type in common. No, Z could have F, and then T has O and R, so they might share nothing at all, so D is gone. Then looking at E, T and V share 2 types in common. No, V could have only R, nothing else, in which case it would share only one thing in common with T, so E is gone, leaving C by elimination for 16. Next, number 17, if S and V both carry Fulk. So I'm going to put Fulk down on V, and I'll put Fulk down on S, and then S's other one will have to be either R or O. So then Z, of course, since V has F, Z is going to have one of R or O, and maybe both. We don't know where the other one of R and O is going. Could go to Z, could go to V, we don't know. Anyway, what could be true? Could S and T share nothing? No, they have to share one of RO, so A is gone. Could S and Z share nothing? Yeah, if S had R, Z could have O, and if S had O, Z could have R, so it's possible that S and Z share nothing at all, so B is our answer to 17. I will look at the others, though. Could T and Z share nothing? No, because T has both R and O, so Z, whichever one of those Z has, it will share with T, so C is gone. Next, could S and Z share 2 types in common? No, they could only share 1 type in common, because if Z had a second thing, it would be the other one of R or O, and S only has 1 of them, not 2, and Z can't have F or J, of course, so D is gone. Then looking at E, T and V have 2 types in common. T has both R and O, V has F, so even if V had O/R as well, that would still only be 1 type in common with T, not 2, so for that reason, E is gone, leaving B by elimination for number 17 if you didn't get it before.